Hello students, how are you? Welcome to eStudies. Today we are going to discuss the first chapter of Maths of Standard 7. The name of the chapter is Integers. So let's have first of all a bit of introduction about the chapter. So students, in your earlier class, you have already studied about the natural numbers. The natural numbers are starting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on, and they are up to infinity. You may also have idea about the whole numbers. The whole numbers are starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, and they are up to infinity. So when the 0 is added to the natural numbers, they all become whole numbers. Now students, think of negative numbers. The negative numbers are on the left hand side of the number line, and every natural number has got its opposite, which is a negative number. So for example, number 4 has got its opposite, which is -4, and that is the negative number. The negative numbers and the whole numbers together become integers. So students, in this chapter, we are going to study more about integers, their properties and their operations. Students, let's think about that how we can add or subtract the integers on the number line, whether we need to move left or right in order to do addition or subtraction of the integers. So if we want to add a positive integer, we need to move right on the number line. Also, in order to add the negative integer, we need to move left on the number line. Also, while subtracting a positive integer, we need to move left on the number line. And if you want to subtract a negative integer, you need to move right on the number line. Moving to the next slide, when we want to do certain operations like addition and subtraction on the integers, we got to follow some basic rules. And just to quickly remember those rules, what I have done here, I have put a table here so that you can easily remember it. So let's have a look of it. When we have got two positive integers, we need to perform addition on them, and the sign of the answer will be positive. So for example, we have got here positive 3 and positive 5. Yes, we need to do addition on them. So 5 plus 3, it will give us 8, and the answer sign is positive. And remember students, that we do not put the positive sign if the integer is positive. Similarly, with two negative integers, we need to perform addition on them, and the sign of the answer will be negative. For example, here we have got -3 and -5. So we need to do the addition on them. So 5 plus 3 will be 8, and the sign of the answer will be negative. So students, as you can see here now, in the third row, we have got first integer is a positive and the second one is negative, whereas in the fourth row, the first integer is negative and the second one is positive. So regardless of their order, we need to perform the subtraction on them, and the sign of the answer would be the larger number sign. So in the third row, we have got a positive 3 and -5. So we are getting the answer which is -2. Whereas in the fourth row, that -3 and positive 5, we are getting the answer positive 2. Well students, can you guess the additive inverse of an integer? Of course, it would be the opposite of that. So for example, if I have got positive 4, the additive inverse would be -4. And say for example, if I have got -10, the additive inverse of that would be positive 10. Alright students, based on what we have learned, let's try to solve a problem of the exercise 1.1 question number 2. What it says that in a quiz, positive marks are given for correct answers and negative marks are given for incorrect answers. If Jack's scores in 5 successive rounds were 25, -5, -10, +15 and positive 10, what was his total at the end? So here we have got different marks obtained by Jack, and in order to find out the total of the obtained marks, we need to add them up. So in doing addition, we'll take two integers at a time. So first we will take positive 25 and negative 5. So because we have got one integer is positive and the other is negative, we need to perform subtraction on them, and therefore the 25 minus 5 will give us positive 20. Next we will take negative 10 and positive 15, and again we have got one integer is negative and the other is positive, therefore we'll need to do subtraction, and that will give us positive 5. Don't forget students, we are using the larger number sign for the answer sign because we have got one integer is negative and one is positive, and we are doing the subtraction on them. Now we have got three integers left to be added, 10, 20 and 5. They all are positive, so we need to perform addition on them, and that will give us answer 35, and these are the marks obtained by Jack. Now students, let's solve the question number 4 of the same exercise. A plane is flying at the height of 5,000 meters above the sea level. At a particular point, it is exactly above a submarine floating 1200 meters below the sea level. What is the vertical distance between them? So students, we have got the height of the plane from the sea level is 5,000 meters, and the submarine is below the sea level at 1200 meters. So here, if you imagine that there is a vertical number line, then the sea level would be at 0, and up, from 0 to up, all the numbers are the positive integers, and from 0 to down, all the numbers are the negative integers. Therefore, the height is considered as a positive and the depth is considered as negative, and therefore the height of the plane is positive 5,000 and the depth of the submarine is negative 1200 meters. So the distance between plane and the submarine would be 5,000 meters minus negative 1200 meters. So students, when there is a negative sign outside the bracket, the sign of the integer which is inside the bracket would change when you open up the bracket. So here we have got minus sign outside the bracket, and inside we have got 1200 negative. So when we open up the bracket, the sign of the inside integer has to change. So minus 1200 will become plus 1200. Now we have got two positive integers which are 5000 and 1200. So we need to perform the addition on them. So 5000 plus 1200, and the answer will be 6200 meters. So students, let's look at question number 8 of the exercise 1.1. Here we have got to verify the a minus negative b is equal to a plus b for the values given for a and b in the following questions. Let's look at the first one. In order to solve this problem, we need to substitute the values of a and b given to us. Here we have got a is 21 and b is 18. So if we substitute the value of a and b, we'll have 21 minus negative 18. As you know that if there is a negative sign outside the bracket, the sign of the inside integer would change. So here we'll have to change the sign of the negative 18, and the negative 18 will become positive 18. So 21 plus 18 will give us 39 positive. So on the right side we have got a plus b, and when we substitute the value of a and b, it will give us 21 plus 18. The both integers are positive, so we need to add them up. 21 plus 18 will give us answer 39. Hence, here it is proven that a minus negative b is equal to a plus b. When we look at the second sum, the values of the a and b are given 118 and 125. So when we substitute the values of A and B, both sides, left and right, both sides, and we get 118 minus negative 125 is equal to 118 plus 125. So when we open up the bracket, the negative 125 will become positive. So 125 plus 118 will give us 243. Here it is also proven that A minus negative B is equal to A plus B. Now in the third one, that we have got the value of A is 75 and the value of B is 84. When we substitute the values of 75 and 84, we have 75 minus negative 84 and the other side 75 plus 84. So when we open up the bracket, the minus 84 will become positive. So 75 plus 84 will give us 159, and the other side as well, it is 159. So here it is also proven that A minus negative B is equal to A plus B, which is 159. In the fourth one, the values of A and B are given as 28 and 11, and again substituting the values of A and B, 28 minus negative 11 is equal to 28 plus 11. So open up the bracket, minus 11 will become plus, so 28 plus 11 will give us 39. Here it is also proven that A minus negative B is equal to A plus B, which is 39. Okay, now let's look at the question number 10 of the exercise 1.1. It says that a water tank has steps inside it. A monkey is sitting on the topmost step. For example, the first step. The water level is at the 9th step. So here they have given altogether 3 questions. The first one is that he jumps 3 steps down and then jumps back 2 steps up. In how many jumps will he reach the water level? That's the first question. The second one is, after drinking water, he wants to go back. For this, he jumps 4 steps up and then jumps back 2 steps down in every move. In how many jumps will he reach back the top step? The third one is, if the number of steps moved down is represented by negative integers and the number of steps moved up by positive integers, represent his moves with the help of showing the sum. Let's solve these questions one by one. So in the first one, that it says that monkey jumps 3 steps down and then jumps back 2 steps up. So in this one, what I have done here, I have put a number line just to help you understand, and in that what I have done here, that I have put an arrow for each jump. So when the monkey jumps from the first step to the 4th step, the arrow shows that from 1 to 4, and when he jumps back from 4th step to the 2nd step, the arrow I have put as a backward arrow. At the end of 2 jumps, monkey has landed on step 2. So at the end of jump 3, the monkey goes from step 2 to step 5, and when he goes back from step 5, it goes back to step 3 at the end of jump 4. Now in the jump 5, the monkey goes to step 6 from step 3, and again he jumps back from step 6 to step 4 at the end of jump 6. When the monkey jumps 7th time, he goes from step 4 to step 7, and again he jumps back from step 7 to step 5 at the end of jump 8. Again from step 5 to step 8 at the end of jump 9, and jumping back from step 8 to step 6 at the end of jump 10. Now the monkey jumps from step 6 to step 9 at the end of jump 11. So step 9 he will have water there. So answer to this question is that he would need 11 jumps to get to the water from step 1 to step 9. Here I have also described that at the end of every jump where the monkey lands. So when the monkey jumps down, we need to add 3 steps, and when the monkey jumps back, we need to subtract 2 steps. So that is how we have to progress, and at the end of 11th jump, the monkey will reach to the step 9. Now when the monkey returns, that it jumps 4 steps up and 2 steps down. So when he was at step 9, he jumped 4 steps, so he landed on step 5. Then he jumped back and landed on step 7. When the monkey jumped a third time, he landed on step 3 from step 7, and when he jumped back fourth time, he landed on step 5 from step 3. And at the end of jump 5, he landed on step 1. So here monkey jumps up. So every time he jumps up, we need to subtract 4 steps, and when he jumps down, we need to add 2 steps. So that's how we need to progress. And at the end of jump 5, he will be reaching at step 1. So let's move to the last sub question of this question. If steps moved down are represented by negative integers and steps moved up are represented by positive integers, then his moves will be or can be represented as per given here. So moves in part 1 represent going down 8 steps, and moves in part 2 represent going up 8 steps. Alright students, I haven't done all of the sums of the exercise number 1.1. I have left them for you to do it, the rest. If you have any queries, any doubts, please write me on my email address or send me a message on my WhatsApp number. So next part of this chapter is to learn the properties of integers, and as you know, the properties are closure, commutative, associative, distributive, and identity. In order to learn the properties of the integers, I thought it would be a good idea to put the properties of the whole numbers as well together and compare it. Let's go through one by one and understand it properly. So, what is a closure property? The closure property is when you add or subtract or multiply or divide two whole numbers, then if the answer is whole number, that means they are closed under each property. You have already learned the properties of whole numbers in standard 6, and as you can see here that the whole numbers are closed under addition and multiplication, whereas they are not closed under subtraction and division. So if you do the addition of two whole numbers, you will always get a whole number, and also if you multiply two whole numbers, you will get the answer as a whole number. However, in doing subtraction and division, the answer will not be always whole number. Whereas the integers are closed under addition, subtraction, and multiplication. So if you perform the addition, subtraction, or multiplication of integers, the answer will be always an integer. However, in doing division, you always not get the answer as integer. Next is the commutative property. In the commutative property, if the whole numbers are interchanged, that means they can be added in any order, and the answer you would get is a whole number. So they are commutative under addition and multiplication, but not under subtraction and division. With the integers, it is also same, that integers are commutative under addition and multiplication, but not under subtraction and division. So if you interchange the position of the integers, you wouldn't get the same answer as you would have. Associative property is about grouping two of the three integers. So here in doing addition, we have grouped A and B, and then we have added C. Whereas the other side, we have grouped B and C, and then we have added A. So changing the whole numbers in a group at both sides doesn't change the answer for addition and multiplication, whereas for subtraction and division it does. So we can say that the whole numbers are associative under addition and multiplication, but not subtraction and division. Students, I would suggest to you to perform a few examples of each operation so that you can prove yourself. Similarly, integers are also associative under addition and multiplication, but not under subtraction and division. So for subtraction and division, you wouldn't get the same answer if you interchange the integers of each group. Also, when we look at the distributive property of the whole numbers, we can say that distributivity of multiplication over addition is true for whole numbers, and it is also true for subtraction for the whole numbers. It also applies to integers. In integers, the distributivity of multiplication over addition and subtraction is true for integers, whereas for multiplication and division, it's not applicable. Last one, we want to look at the identity. When the 0 is added to any whole number, the whole number remains unchanged. Also, when a whole number is multiplied by 1, it also remains unchanged. This property is also applicable to integers. When integer is added with 0, it remains unchanged, and when integer is multiplied by 1, the integer doesn't change. Students, so now let's look at the exercise 1.2 and the question number 1. The question number 1 is, write down a pair of integers whose sum is -7, difference is -10, and sum is 0. So let's look at the first one, that sum has to be -7. So you got to understand here that they are asking that the sum of the integer is -7. So if I choose -8 and +1, and if I put a positive sign in between, I can get -8 plus 1 will give me -7. When we look at the second one, it says that the difference is -10. So we got to remember here that we got to put the minus sign in between the two integers. So I need to get the answer in minus, right? So I need to choose -12 minus -2. So when the bracket is open, the -2 will become +2 because outside it is a minus sign. So -12 plus +2 will give me -10. The last one is sum is 0. So as we know that every integer has got its additive inverse. So if I choose any integer, for example, I have chosen here 5. I have chosen +5. So the +5's additive inverse will be -5. So if I put 5 plus -5, it will give me answer 0. I would leave it up to you to solve the question number 2 of this exercise. And if you have got any query, you can write me email or send me the message on my WhatsApp number. Now let's go to the question number 3 of the same exercise. What it says that in a quiz, team A scored -40, 10 and 0, and team B scored 10, 0 and -40 in 3 successive rounds. Which team scored more? Can we say that we can add integers in any order? As we understand that we need to do the addition to these integers for the team A and team B. So let's start with team A first. So if we add the score of team A, and that is -40 plus 10 plus 0, it will give us -30 answer. And for the team B, that it scored that 10, 0 and -40. If we perform the addition on them, it is the -30. So the scores of the both teams are equal. Students, do not forget that when the one integer is negative and another is positive, we need to do the subtraction. And when we do the subtraction, the sign of the answer will be the bigger number sign. And answer to the question that whether we can add integers in any order, the answer is yes. Yes, we can add integers in any order as per the commutative property we have learned previously. Let us learn how to multiply the integers. When a positive integer is multiplied with a positive integer, the answer would be positive integer. So for example, positive 8 multiplied by positive 9, the answer will be positive 72. Similarly, when two negative integers are multiplied, you would get the answer positive integer. So for example here, negative 8 multiplied by negative 9 will give you positive 72. And out of the two integers, if one of the integer is positive or negative, you would get the answer as a negative integer. For example here, negative 8 multiplied by positive 9, you would get the answer minus 72. Now let's see how the division works with the integers. When a positive integer is divided by a positive integer, the sign of the answer would be positive. So for example, positive 12 divided by positive 3 will give us answer positive 4. Similarly, dividing a negative integer by a negative integer, the sign of the answer would be positive. Again here, negative 12 divided by negative 3 will give us answer positive 4. When we perform division on the two integers, and if one of the integers is negative or positive, the sign of the answer will be negative integer. For example here, negative 12 divided by positive 3 will give us answer negative 4. Now students, let's do the exercise 1.3, and we are doing the question number 1 first. The question number 1 is about finding out the product of each of the pairs of integers given here. So question number 1a, we have 3 multiplied by negative 1. When one of the two integers is a positive or negative, then the sign of the answer will be negative. So here positive 3 multiplied by negative 1 will give us answer negative 3. Similarly, for the question 1b, negative 1 multiplied by positive 225 will give us negative 225. In question number 1c, we have got both the integers are negative. So negative 21 multiplied by negative 30 would give us answer positive 630. Looking at question number 1d, we have negative 316 multiplied by negative 1, and that will give us answer positive 316. Now question number 1e, we have negative 15 multiplied by 0 multiplied by negative 18. As we know students that multiplying any number with 0 would give us answer 0. Now let's look at the question number 1f. We have negative 12 multiplied by negative 11 multiplied by positive 10. So if we multiply negative 11 with positive 10, we will get the answer negative 110. So in the next step, we have got negative 12 multiplied by negative 110. If we multiply two negative integers, the sign of the answer would be positive. So here, multiplying negative 12 with negative 110, we get the answer 1320 positive. The next question we have is question number 1g. Here we have got positive 9 multiplied by negative 3 multiplied by negative 6. So if we multiply negative 3 and negative 6, we get the answer positive 18. And then when we multiply positive 18 with positive 9, we get the answer 162 positive. Now let's move on to question number 1h. We have negative 18 multiplied by negative 5 multiplied by negative 4. Here we have got three integers negative. So first we multiply negative 5 with negative 4 and we get the answer positive 20. Then we got to multiply positive 20 with negative 18 and we would get the answer negative 360. Again, we have got one integer is positive and the another one is negative. We are getting the answer sign negative. Now let's look at the question number 1I. We have negative 1 multiplied by negative 2 times negative 3 and multiplied by positive 4. So multiplying negative 1 and negative 2 will give us positive 2, and multiplying negative 3 and positive 4 will give us negative 12. Then we got to multiply negative 12 with positive 2, and that will give us answer negative 24. Let's move on to question number 1J. We have negative 3 multiplied by negative 6 multiplied by negative 2 multiplied by negative 1. So multiplying negative 3 with negative 6 will give us positive 18, and multiplying negative 2 with negative 1 will give us positive 2. So we have positive 18 and positive 2. When we multiply them, we'll get the answer positive 36. Now let us do the question number 2 of the exercise 1.3. Here we got to verify the left hand side with the right hand side. Let's look at the question number 2A. We have 18 multiplied by 7 plus negative 3 is equal to 18 multiplied by 7 plus 18 multiplied by negative 3. Looking at the left hand side, we have 18 multiplied by 7 plus negative 3. Opening up the bracket of negative 3, we have 18 multiplied by 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 will give us positive 4. So 18 multiplied by 4 will give us 72. Then looking at the right hand side of the sum, we have 18 multiplied by 7 plus 18 multiplied by minus 3. So 18 multiplied by 7 will give us 126, and 18 multiplied by negative 3 will give us negative 54. Now we have got positive 126 and negative 54. Because we have got one integer positive and another is negative, we got to perform subtraction, and the sign of the answer will be positive sign. So 126 minus 54 will give us positive 72. Here we are getting positive 72 at both sides. So hence we can say that left hand side is equal to right hand side. Moving on to the next sum, question 2B. We have negative 21 multiplied by negative 4 plus negative 6 is equal to negative 21 multiplied by negative 4 plus negative 21 multiplied by negative 6. Doing left hand side first, negative 21 multiplied by negative 4 plus negative 6. So when you add up negative 4 and negative 6, you get negative 10. And negative 21 multiplied by negative 10 would give us positive 210. Doing right hand side now. So negative 21 multiplied by negative 4 plus negative 21 multiplied by negative 6. So multiplying negative 21 and negative 4 would give you positive 84, and multiplying negative 21 and negative 6 would give you 126. So we have got both the positive integers 84 and 126. When we add them, we'll get 210. Here we have 210 at left and right both sides. So it is proven that left hand side is equal to right hand side. So students, I have done question number 1 and question number 2 for you. Now question number 3 and question number 4, I will leave it up to you to solve it. And if you have got any difficulties, you can write me email or call me on my mobile number or send me a WhatsApp message. Now we'll do question number 5A. Question number 5 is about finding out a product using suitable properties. So here, when it says the using suitable properties, we got to use the properties we have learned prior. The properties like associative and commutative we got to use. Here in question number 5A, it has 26 multiplied by negative 48 plus negative 48 multiplied by negative 36. So here we have got a situation of b multiplied by a is equal to a multiplied by b, because we have got minus 48 common at both sides. So we need to take minus 48 as a common. We need to put it outside the bracket. So minus 48 multiplied by 26 minus 36. So here, after doing the subtraction, we get minus 10. So minus 48 multiplied by minus 10 will give us 480. Now looking at question number 5b, we have 8 multiplied by 53 multiplied by negative 125. Here we have got three numbers to multiply, and we got to identify that multiplying any two number, can we land a number like 100, 10, 1000 or 10,000? So if we can identify here, we can multiply 8 and negative 125. So if we multiply these two numbers, we would get 1000, and then it will be easier for us to multiply with 53. So multiplying 8 with negative 125 would give us answer negative 1000, and then multiplying negative 1000 with positive 53 would give us the answer negative 53,000. Note students, we are using here the commutative property. The next one we have is question number 5c, which is 15 multiplied by negative 25 multiplied by negative 4 multiplied by negative 10. What do you think, students? Which two numbers should I choose to multiply first? Should I choose 15 and 25, or should I choose 25 and 4? Otherwise, at the end, should I choose 4 and 10? Which combination should I use? I think I should use 25 and 4 first. So if I multiply these two numbers, I would get 100. Then I would multiply positive 100 with negative 10. That will give us negative 1000, and then positive 15 multiplied by negative 1000 will give me negative 15,000. Now moving on to question number 5d, we have negative 41 multiplied by 102. Well students, in this sum, which property do you think we should use? I reckon we should use distributive property, that will distribute 102 in 102. So we'll have minus 41 multiplied by 100 plus minus 41 multiplied by 2. That will give us a multiplied by b plus c is equal to a multiplied by b plus a multiplied by c. So we have negative 41 multiplied by 100. That will give me negative 4100. Then I'll multiply negative 41 with 2, and that will give me negative 82. We have here both the integers are negative, so we need to perform addition on them, and the sign of the answer will be negative. So minus 4100 and minus 82 will give me minus 4182. Let us see the next one. The question number 5e, we have 625 multiplied by negative 35 plus negative 625 multiplied by 65. We have got the situation here that we can use the commutative property. So the commutative property is a multiplied by b plus a multiplied by c. So here we can get 625 common. So 625 multiplied by negative 35 plus negative 65. Because we have two integers negative 35 and negative 65, we need to perform addition on them. So that will give us negative 100. So positive 625 multiplied by negative 100 will give us answer negative 62,500. The next one we have is question number 5f, and using a distributive property here, we can multiply 7 with 50 and then subtract 7 multiplied by 2. So when you multiply 7 with 50, you would get answer 350. and then when you multiply 7 with 2, you get answer 14. So 350 minus 14 will give us 336. Next one we have is question number 5G. We have negative 17 multiplied by negative 29. So what we are doing here is that because we do not have a number having 0 behind it, we can add 1 in negative 29 and then subtract it. So here what we have done, that negative 30 plus 1 would give us negative 29. So then we have multiplied negative 17 with negative 30, and negative 17 multiplied by positive 1. So when we multiplied negative 17 with negative 30, we would get answer 510. Then multiplying negative 17 with positive 1 would give us negative 17. Now we have got positive 510 and negative 17. So we need to perform subtraction on them, and the answer we would get would be 493 positive. The next one we have is question number 5H. We have negative 57 multiplied by 19 plus 57. So here we have got 57 plus, so we can multiply it with 1. So we can put 57 multiplied by 19 plus 57 multiplied by 1. Here we have removed the negative sign of 57 and 19 because both the integers were negative, and as a result the answer would be positive. So therefore the sign has been removed. Now it is a situation is like a multiplied by b plus a multiplied by c, taking common 57, 19 plus 1. So 19 plus 1 would be 20 multiplied by 57, and that will give us answer 1140. Let us look at question number 6 now of the same exercise. The problem sum is that a certain freezing process requires that room temperature to be lowered from 40 degrees Celsius at the rate of 5 degrees Celsius every hour. What will be the room temperature 10 hours after the process begins? So what we have here is the process requires the temperature to be reduced at the rate of 5 degrees Celsius every hour. So this 5 degrees Celsius reduction will take it as a negative integer, which is minus 5 degree, and that to be reduced for 10 hours. So 10 would be multiplied by negative 5, that will give us negative 50 degrees Celsius, and then we need to add negative 50 to the initial temperature, which is 40 degrees Celsius. So 40 degrees Celsius plus negative 50, and that will give us answer negative 10 degrees Celsius. So at the end of the process, we'll reach to the temperature at negative 10 degrees Celsius. Let's move on to question number 7 of the exercise 1.3. In a class test containing 10 questions, 5 marks are awarded for every correct answer and negative 2 marks are awarded for every incorrect answers, and 0 for a question not attempted. So we have a negative marking system here, that for every incorrect answer 2 marks to be debited from the total marks. So let's see how we can solve this problem. The first one is that Mohan gets 4 correct and 6 incorrect answers. What is his score? So here that Mohan has got 4 correct answers, so 5 marks for each answer. So when we multiply 5 with 4, we'll get 20 marks for the correct answers. And he has got 6 incorrect answers. So for every incorrect answer, 2 marks are to be debited. So therefore we have got these 2 marks in negative. Now we'll multiply 6 with negative 2. That will give us negative 12. And then we need to add negative 12 to 20. So 20 minus 12, that will give us positive 8. Total marks obtained by Mohan are 8 marks. Moving on to question number 2 of this question. Reshma gets 5 correct answers and 5 incorrect answers. What is her score? Here we have got number of incorrect and correct answers are same. For the correct answers, Reshma is getting 5 multiplied by 5, which is 25 marks. And for the incorrect answers, she has to lose 10 marks, which is minus 2 multiplied by positive 5. So the total score obtained by Reshma is equal to 25 minus 10 is equal to 15. Let's discuss the next question. Hina gets 2 correct and 5 incorrect answers. Out of 7 questions she attempts. What is her score? Similarly, marks given for 2 correct answers is equal to 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10. Whereas for the wrong answers, she is losing 10 marks, which is negative 2 multiplied by 5. Hence, the total score obtained by Hina is 10 minus 10 is equal to 0. Now, let's look at the question number 8 of the exercise 1.3. It says that a cement company earns a profit of rupees 8 per bag of white cement sold and a loss of rupees 5 per bag of grey cement sold. Here we have got 2 questions, A and B. So we'll look at A first. Question A says that the company sells 3,000 bags of white cement and 5,000 bags of grey cement in a month. What is its profit or loss? So students, here we got to show the profit as a positive integer and a loss as a negative integer. So let us find out first profit earned by selling the white cement. Here we have the total bag of the white cement sold are 3,000 bags and the profit earned per bag is rupees 8. So rupees 8 multiplied by 3,000 bags, that will give us rupees 24,000 profit. Now looking for loss, let's find out the total loss incurred. So here they have sold 5,000 bags of grey cement and they are losing rupees 5 per bag. So negative 5 multiplied by 5,000 and that will give us negative 25,000. Here we have got more loss than profit earned. So negative 25,000 plus 24,000 and that will give us negative 1,000. So basically when we get a negative number in profit or loss, that means they have incurred loss. So loss of 1,000 rupees is incurred by the company. Now let's look at B. It says that what is the number of white cement bags it must sell to have neither profit nor loss if the number of grey bags sold is 6,400 bags. So first we need to find out the total loss incurred by selling the grey cement. Here they have sold 6,400 bags of grey cement and they are losing rupees 5 per bag. So we got to multiply 6,400 with negative 5 and that will give us negative 32,000 rupees. Let the number of bags of white cement to be sold is X and profit earned while selling 1 bag of white cement is equal to rupees 8. So profit earned while selling X number of bags would be X multiplied by 8, which is 8X. So in condition of no profit or no loss, the profit earned plus loss incurred is equal to 0. So 8X plus negative 32,000 is equal to 0. So 8X is equal to 32,000, where X is equal to 32,000 divided by 8 will give us 4,000. Therefore, the 4,000 bags of white cement must be sold in order to incur no profit, no loss. Alright students, let's do exercise 1.4, question number 1. It says evaluate each of the following. Let's start with the first question, A. We have negative 30 divided by 10. So as we know that when you divide 30 with 10, you would get answer 3. But because we have got 30 negative, the answer would be negative. When one of the integer is negative, then the answer would be negative. Now looking at B, we have 50 positive divided by negative 5. Again here we have got one of the integer is negative. Therefore the answer sign is negative. 50 divided by 5 will give us negative 10. Looking at C, we have negative 36 divided by negative 9. So when we have got both the integers are negative and to be divided, the sign of the answer will be positive. So negative 36 divided by negative 9 will give us positive 4. Question D, we have negative 49 divided by positive 49. When we divide negative and positive numbers, we'll get the negative sign for answers. So negative 49 divided by positive 49 will give us negative 1. In the question E, we have 13 divided by negative 2 plus 1 in the bracket. So when there is negative 2 plus 1, we need to do subtraction. So in the bracket it will be negative 1. So 13 divided by negative 1 will give us negative 13. Question F, we have 0 divided by negative 12. When 0 is divided by a number, the answer would be 0. Question G, we have negative 31 divided by negative 30 plus negative 1. So we have both integers in the bracket are negative. So we'll need to perform addition. So in the bracket we'll have negative 31. So negative 31 divided by negative 31, and that will give us positive 1. Question H, in the bracket we have negative 36 divided by positive 12. That will give us negative 3, and outside the bracket it is also divided by 3. So negative 3 divided by positive 3 will give us negative 1. Looking at question I, we have negative 6 plus 5 divided by negative 2 plus 1. So negative 6 plus 5 will give us negative 1, and negative 2 plus 1 will give us negative 1. So negative 1 divided by negative 1 will give us positive 1. Let's look at question number 2 of this exercise. It says that verify that A divided by B plus C is not equal to A divided by B plus A divided by C for each of the following values of A, B and C. So students, we have been given here the different values of A, B and C. So looking at the first one, we have A is equal to positive 12, B is equal to negative 4 and C is equal to positive 2. In the next step, let's substitute the values of A, B and C. So on left hand side, we have A divided by B plus C. So 12 divided by negative 4 plus 2. So negative 4 plus 2 will give us negative 2, and 12 divided by negative 2 will give us negative 6. Similarly, on the right hand side, substituting values of A, B and C, where A divided by B plus A divided by C. So 12 divided by negative 4 plus 12 divided by positive 2. So 12 divided by negative 4 will give us negative 3, and 12 divided by 2 will give us positive 6. So negative 3 plus positive 6 will give us positive 3. Hence that we can say that A divided by B plus C is not equal to A divided by B plus A divided by C. Moving on to next one, we have the values of A is equal to negative 10, B is equal to positive 1 and C is equal to also positive 1. So on left hand side we have got A divided by B plus C. So when we substitute the values of A, B and C, we'll have negative 10 divided by positive 1 plus 1. So positive 1 plus 1 will give us 2. So negative 10 divided by positive 2 will give us negative 5. Now doing the right hand side, we have A divided by B plus A divided by C. So here we have negative 10 divided by positive 1 plus negative 10 divided by positive 1. So that gives us negative 10 and negative 10. Because we have got two negative integers, we got to perform addition on that. So negative 10 plus negative 10 will give us negative 20. Hence it is proven that a divided by b plus c is not equal to a divided by b plus a divided by c. Let's do the next sum. Question number 5. The temperature at 12 noon was 10 degrees Celsius above zero. If it decreases at the rate of 2 degrees Celsius per hour until midnight, at what time would the temperature be 8 degrees Celsius below zero? What would be the temperature at midnight? Students, we have two things to find out here. That first of all, what time it will be that 8 degrees Celsius below zero, and the second one would be that what the temperature would be at midnight. So let's do the first one, that what time the temperature would be at 8 degree below zero. Here we have been given initial temperature, which is 10 degree above zero at 12 in the afternoon, and the change in the temperature per hour is 2 degrees Celsius, so it drops by 2 degrees. Therefore we have 2 degrees in negative here, and we got to reach to temperature negative 8 degrees Celsius, which is below zero. So the difference of the temperature from 10 degrees Celsius to negative 8 degrees Celsius would be 10 plus 8. It will be 18 degrees Celsius. That is the difference of temperature between 10 degree and negative 8. Students, please remember, here we are not performing subtraction. We are performing addition here to find out the difference of the degrees between 10 degree and negative 8 degrees Celsius. As we know that temperature drops by 2 degrees every hour, so we got to drop 18 degrees. So 18 degrees divided by 2, that will give us 9 hours. So to reach to 8 degrees below zero, it will take 9 hours if it goes by rate of 2 degrees per hour. Now looking at the second part of the question. In the second part of the question, we got to find out that what the temperature would be at 12 o'clock midnight. So here we have been given the initial temperature 10 degrees Celsius at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So from the afternoon at 12 o'clock till midnight we have got 12 hours, and the temperature drops by 2 degrees per hour. So after 12 hours the temperature will drop by 24 degrees. So here we have got 12 multiplied by negative 2, so that gives us minus 24. The final temperature at midnight will be initial temperature plus drop in the temperature. So initial temperature was 10 degrees Celsius plus negative 24. We have got one positive and one negative integer here, so we'll need to perform subtraction, and the sign of the answer will be negative. So minus 24 plus 10, after performing subtraction we'll get negative 14 degrees Celsius. The next question we want to do is question number 6 of the exercise 1.4. Students, we have 3 parts of this question, and we want to solve one by one so that we can understand it better. So here is the first question we want to discuss. In the class test, positive 3 marks are given for every correct answer, and negative 2 marks are given for every incorrect answer, and no marks for not attempting any questions. So the first one is Radhika scored 20 marks if she has got 12 correct answers. How many questions has she attempted incorrectly? Here we have Radhika's total marks are 20, and total correct answers she has given are 12. So marks obtained for correct answers is equal to 12 multiplied by 3 will give us 36 marks. Once we have found the marks obtained by correct answers, we can find out the marks lost due to incorrect answers. So if we subtract 36 from total marks, which are 20 minus 36, that will give us negative 16. Now since we know that she has lost in total 16 marks as a result of incorrect answers, we can find out the number of incorrect answers she has given. By dividing negative 16 by negative 2, we get 8, and this is how we can find out that she has given total 8 incorrect answers. Let's move on to second part of this question. Second part is about Mohini, that Mohini scores -5 marks in this test, though she has got 7 correct answers. How many questions has she attempted incorrectly? In this question, we have total marks obtained by Mohini are -5 and total correct answers are 7. So the marks obtained for correct answers is equal to 7 multiplied by 3, that's 21. She got 21 marks as a result of correct answers. However, let's find out the marks lost by incorrect answers. So marks lost due to incorrect answers is equal to -5 plus -21 is equal to -26. Here we are adding up the total marks and the marks obtained by the correct answers to get the marks lost by incorrect answers. Now we can find out the total incorrect answers given by Mohini. So here if we divide -26 by -2, we can get 13. So the 13 incorrect answers she must have given in order to lose 26 marks, and as a result she has got -5 marks in total. The last part of this question is that Rakesh scores 18 marks by attempting 16 questions. How many questions has he attempted correctly and how many questions has he attempted incorrectly? Students, please understand this sum by giving your 100% attention, because we got to assume here the value of correct and incorrect answers. So let correct answers is equal to P and the number of incorrect answers is equal to Q. So here we are assuming that the number of correct answers as a P and number of incorrect answers as a Q. Rakesh has attempted 16 questions in total. So we can say that incorrect answers plus correct answers is equal to 16. Hence we can say P plus Q is equal to 16. And we'll give it to number 1. This is our equation number 1. Now Rakesh has got total 18 marks. So we can say that 3 multiplied by correct answers plus -2 multiplied by incorrect answers. So we can say that 3 multiplied by P plus -2 multiplied by Q is equal to 18, and that is our second equation. So we'll give it to number 2. Now we can say that P is equal to 16 minus Q. So bringing Q on the right hand side from left hand side, we can say P is equal to 16 minus Q. Now we have got the value of P is 16 minus Q. So we can substitute the value of P in the equation number 2. The equation number 2 is 3P plus -2Q is equal to 18. So we are substituting the value of P here. So 3 into bracket 16 minus Q minus 2Q is equal to 18. Now we have to multiply 3 with 16 and 3 with Q. So 3 16s are 48 minus 3Q minus 2Q is equal to 18. Here we have got -3Q and -2Q. So we can perform addition on them because they both are negative integers. So -3Q and -2Q will be -5Q. So 48 minus 5Q is equal to 18. So in order to find out the value of 5Q, we got to bring the 48 from left hand side to right hand side of the equation. So that will become negative from positive. So -5Q is equal to 18 minus 48. When we subtract 48 from 18, it will give us -30, and on the left hand side we have got -5Q. By leaving Q on the left hand side, we'll take a -5 to the right hand side. Because it is in multiplication with Q, it will go in division on the right hand side. So -30 divided by -5, that will give us answer +6. So we have got Q is equal to +6. Students, we have assumed the incorrect answers as a Q. So Q are our incorrect answers. So basically 6 incorrect answers Rakesh has given. Now we have found out that incorrect answers given by Rakesh. We can also easily find out the correct answers given by him. So substituting value of q into the first equation, which is p plus q is equal to 16. If we put p plus 6 is equal to 16, and if we subtract 6 from 16, it will give us answer 10. So p is equal to answer 10. So incorrect answers are 6 and the correct answers given by Rakesh are 10. Moving on towards the last question of this exercise. An elevator descends into a mine shaft at the rate of 6 meters per minute. If the descent starts from 10 meters above the ground level, how long will it take to reach negative 350 meters? The students, here they have given negative 350 meters. That means that the elevator has to go down or below the ground. We have been given here the initial height is positive 10 meter and final depth is equal to negative 350 meters. So it means that elevator has to start at 10 meter above the ground and going up to 350 meters below the ground. So we need to find the total distance to be covered by elevator. So if we add 10 plus 350, it will give us negative 360 meters. That much distance the elevator has to descend. It is also given here that it can descend 6 meters in 1 minute. The total distance the elevator has to descend is 360 meters. So negative 360 divided by negative 6, and that will give us 60 minutes, and 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. So elevator will take 1 hour to go down 360 meters below from its original position. Alright students, we are concluding this chapter here. We have completed most of the exercises from the textbook. If you want more practice work, please write in the comment section or send me an email and I'll send some worksheets to you for the practice. Also, please do not forget to like and subscribe our channel, and thanks for watching our videos. Thank you.